TACTALK. This is our 4th episode. We're going to dive right in. First, I want to start with, we are working on generating more commercial advertisements for different sponsors. So if you know of anybody who has a business or you have a business yourself, you want to have a 30-second commercial promotional ad, just go ahead and contact me, my Facebook, my YouTube channel, alldonmarketing.com. Phone number is 253-230-3642 if you want to call. We can discuss, negotiate what you might need, what you might want. We can get your commercial on the show. So that's something I want to interest you. I am encouraging anybody who wants to do commercials, because what it allows me to do is allows me to extend my segment time for more promotional advertisements that I have. We're not trying to get rich off the show. We're trying to just get people out there. Like I said, it's all negotiable. So if you are interested, it's a 30-second commercial, creative content. We just sit there and brainstorm what you want, negotiate price or some kind of barter, what do you want to do, and then we'll get it going. So if you're interested, know anybody who might be interested, just go ahead and contact us, and we'll get the ball rolling on that. Diving right into some current events. Right now, actually, it turns out Bill Cosby, as of September 25th, 2018 at 1:19 p.m. right now. This happened a little bit earlier, but I'm now telling you at 1:19 p.m. that Bill Cosby was sentenced to a minimum of 3 to 10 years in a state prison. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for you real quick. I've got the link pulled up here by Fox News. Go ahead and give it a listen.
A judge in Pennsylvania just sentencing Bill Cosby to 3 to 10 years in prison for a 2004 sexual assault. I'm joined now by Rick Leventhal, who is outside the courtroom with the very latest. 3 to 10 years, not as much as he could have served, but nonetheless, Bill Cosby is going to prison, Rick.
He is indeed, Julie. No less than 3 years, no more than 10 years. The judge ruling that Bill Cosby must cover the cost of the prosecution, $25,000, apparently over the first 12 months, not to contact the family of the alleged victim, Andrea Constand, or Andrea Constand, and is subject to sex offender program. So Bill Cosby, 81, and according to his defense team, legally blind, will be going to state prison. And it is our understanding that he will be first taken to the Montgomery County Jail in Lower Providence Township to await transport to the State Correctional Institute Phoenix, which is about 12 miles north of Philadelphia, where Bill Cosby had an estate, where Bill Cosby took Andrea Constand, and where he gave her drugs and then sexually assaulted her, the basis of the aggravated indecent assault charges. So now Bill Cosby has been sentenced 3 to 10 years in state prison. That means that he will most likely, we assume pretty shortly, be taken out a back door of this courthouse in handcuffs, put in a police transport, and taken to that county jail to be transferred to a state prison facility where he will be evaluated.
And mind you, he was actually, I don't have the live broadcast for you to show you, but if you do turn into YouTube, you will see the footage of where he was arrested, or I take that back, put into handcuffs and taken out the back door and escorted out the back of the building and brought to the state correctional facility.
And then presumably spend at least the next 3 years of his life, Julie.
And so let's talk appeals process. As you know, of course, his lawyers...
This is an interesting part. I do want you guys to take a special close listen to this. This is something new. Usually during an appeals process, you have the ability to post bail or, during that appeals process. What they're now allowing to do is they're allowing the victims to dispute against the appeal process. So he is eligible for an appeal process with no bail after 3 years of his minimum sentence. And yet the family and the victims can actually go against that appeal.
Are going to appeal this. By sentencing him to 3 to 10 years, does that hurt his appeals process? Does it make it harder for his defense to try to appeal, considering a minimum of 3 years is not nearly as much as he could have served?
Well, first of all, the judge merged the 3 charges that he was convicted of into one. So he could have faced 10 years on each count. They merged them, so the max he could face was 10. So basically the judge said 3 to 10, touching on that maximum sentence that he could have received based on the merging of the charges. One of the big questions was, would the judge allow him free on bail while he considered any appeals that might be filed? And the DA, Kevin Steele, said because you deemed him a sexually violent predator, he doesn't qualify for house arrest. So that may have played into the judge's decision. We're just not sure about that. But I'll tell you this, Bill Cosby could have spoken in court today in his own defense. He could have said something to the judge about remorse for what he had done. He didn't do that, and there was talk beforehand that he probably wouldn't, because if he says he has remorse, that wouldn't support an appeal if he claims innocence. We can tell you that when Bill Cosby in court was informed of the responsibilities he would have as a sex offender, he was told that the victims in this case would be notified. Bill Cosby asked if he had to notify them and was told no, and Cosby, according to our producer in the courtroom, replied, good. So that's being handled by the state. Bill Cosby is not notifying his offenders. He's been told you can't contact, his victims, and there's one confirmed victim here, but more than 60 women claim that Bill Cosby assaulted them, and several of them were in the courtroom, including former supermodel Janice Dickinson. She was here.
Okay, we're going to end that there. So, like I said, I don't know much about the statute of limitations in this case. I think it's conspicuous, a case from 2004 or whatnot, all the way out here later. But that's, again, none of my business. I was not part of the court process. However, a lot of it had to do with his own, what he admitted to. So we're ending up on our first commercial segment break, so stick with us and we'll be right back. Thank you very much. Beez Combat Systems at BeezCombatSystems.com, protecting those who prepare. 801-987-0893 for custom body armor carriers and tactical gear for military, law enforcement, contractors, corporate security, responsible citizens, and border patrol. Beez Combat Systems at BeezCombatSystems.com. 801-987-0893. Look, you don't want to admit it, but you're getting old. You've got lower back pain, you've got upper back pain, you've got neck pain, you've got pain in places in your body that you can't reach. As an adult, you need to go and get your weekly massages. It doesn't always have to be weekly. It can be bi-weekly, it can be once a month. However, the point is you need to get your massages. Intuitive Touch by Amy Pope is a licensed massage practitioner that will make sure that she can alleviate your pain from your occupation and from your daily life. Check out Intuitive Massage by Amy Pope. Hey guys, and welcome back to TACTALK. So, given the fact that we have current events going on, it kind of limits me on some of the topics that I want to really get in depth and speak to you guys about. So, because of the current events that went on today, and my limited time for broadcasting because of lack of sponsors, I'm going to go over, as many of you know, Beez Combat Systems, some of their new gear that's available on the website. Many of you rely on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube for updates on gear. However, because of I'm the social media content manager for Beez Combat Systems. Beez Combat Systems is located out of Salt Lake City, Utah, and I'm here up in Lakewood, Washington. There's a bit of a delay between I can get my hands on some of the new gear that's been distributed and get it out on display for social media for you guys to see. So in the meantime, it is on the website. There are pictures. He does have a spin reel. If you go to the website right now, it's BeezCombatSystems.com. That's Beez, Bravo, Echo, Zulu, Combat Systems. On the front page, you'll see what's the American Sentry Grid plate carrier. That's a plate carrier I've been running. It's got it had the First Spear tubes. They're no longer working with First Spear. We still have respect for them. Just there are the market demands, some alternatives. So we kind of have to go with the market. The market makes up their minds for us on that part. There's no bias in them. So the American Sentry Grid plate carrier now has pouches that can be available for it, depending on which pouches you're running. So, for example, if you're running an AR platform, if you're running an AK platform, if you're running the PCC platform, you have multiple shingle loadouts for your plate carrier. You can get the PCC shingle, which holds 4 stick mags, or you can get a 3-mag or the 3-mag AK shingle or the 3-mag AR shingle. Now everything's available in Grid. I do want to mention Grid and the importance of it. Grid has been it's a code brand for laser cut technology. What it is traditional MOLLE webbing is reinforced stitching that has additional material that allows you for load-bearing equipment. What that does is it adds to the overall weight of the equipment and still gives you limited strength and limited overall load-bearing capabilities. Because of that stitching, I mean, everyone knows if you've ever bought a Condor plate carrier, one of those more affordable plate carriers from overseas manufacturers like China, Every now and then you'll put some stuff on it, you know, your mag shingles, some dump pouches, IFAC, whatever. Put that thing on, you'll hear that that rip. And you can never find where that rip came from because there's so much stitching, you don't know what just come loose. But after a few months of wearing, you know, specifically a Condor plate carrier, you will start to notice that it's looser in some portions of the, you know, equipment that is, you know, wasn't there before. So Grid laser cut is actually, it's a CNC machine that actually cuts the load bearing ability into the material itself. It's laminate. Excuse me. There's different materials. You got Cordura. You have Hyperlon. There's so many out there, but this is focused around laminate. And like I said, the laser cut moly webbing ability is actually cut into the material itself. So what it does is it decreases the overall weight. And what we found out since then is because of the lack of material that you have to put on after your product is finished to put on that load bearing ability, not only do you have to reinforce it, you have to put on that stitching, it only allows you so much strength. Laser cut is cut so precisely that it gives you more durability when it comes to load bearing strength. So very key factor there. In fact, I support it so much that I've actually swapped out all of my equipment, whether it's a plate carrier, combat belt, chest rig, anything that was traditional moly webbing, I now run strictly laser cut. And I run Beez Combat Systems Laser Cut Grid. So looking at the website right now, you have a variety of different rifle pouches available to you. You have a variety of different pistol pouches available to you, dump pouches, and even handcuff pouches, which is a big deal because now we're opening that market for pouches to law enforcement specifically, which doesn't just exclude patrol officers. You know, security, private investigations, bail bond recovery, the whole thing. So again, looking at the rifle pouches, you have the AR, you have single pouches, you have double pouches with closed top, the Velcro, then you have the bungee retention cord at the top, that option. Same thing for the AK, same thing for the pistol pouches. Moving on, the handcuff pouch is also a gridlock. And these colors do come in a variety of colors. However, they're going to be limited because if you want to go laser cut, only so much laminate is going to be available for laser cut. Right now, it's going to be multicam, coyote, black, and ranger green. If you want to go traditional moly webbing, you're going to have a lot more options from ATEX to, you know, Cryptek, Highlander, ATAX foliage. So you have a lot more options when it comes to traditional moly webbing, but as the demand becomes more in this market for laser cut, then the material will become more optionable. So it's about getting that word out there, getting it out. So if you have a moment and you're listening to this, go ahead and check out beezcombatsystems.com. Right on the front page, you'll see a nice little spin reel. You can click on it with your phone, on your mouse, on your computer. You can actually adjust it, change it, check it out. Do check out, and I do recommend, I will tell you what I run. I run low profile, zero visibility plate carriers, the SBT and the ECP. Check those out under the drop down menu for plate carriers. You'll find it at on the far right. It says ELPC, Extreme Lightweight Plate Carrier. You can find the Spartan, that's also an option on there, but you can find the American Sentry Grid on the front page. If you go to plate carriers, it's going to be the AR500 plate carriers. It'll be the first option right there. If you're going to go full cummerbund, I recommend rigid inserts. So we're running up on our end of our end of our show here. Like I said, do check out Beez Combat Systems. The only gear I run. If I run anything else, I'm always honest and I let people know, and I usually try to get those companies to be well informed of each other so they can bank off each other's success. So do check out Beez Combat Systems at beezcombatsystems.com. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you guys again on Thursday.